Hi guys, thanks for joining me on Making with Marilyn. On today's video, I'm going to be cutting some red metallic leather earrings and some black leather earrings with my Cricut Maker. I'll then add some silver bells and some gold bells, as well as the silver findings or hardware and the gold findings or hardware, whatever you want to call it, to the earrings. In addition to use my Cricut Maker, I'll use my strong grip mat, some strong grip transfer tape, some scotch tape, my deep point blade. I'll also use a hole punch that I purchased at Harbor Freight. The red metallic leather is some leather I got at Springfield Leather Company, and the black leather is some that I got in a scrap bag from Hobby Lobby. If you see something in the video you like or that helps you out, please give me a thumbs up. It does help me. And if you want to watch what I'll be doing in the future, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions or any suggestions for me, leave them in the comment section below. Okay, I'm in Cricut Design Space, and for some reason the internet at my house was down tonight, so I'm using the offline version. It's my first night to use it. Now, I've already made a pair of earrings tonight, and they were a fail because I didn't leave enough space at the top of the leather to punch a hole for my earring, the fish hook thing to go through. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So I'll show you that fail when I have my overhead camera on, and I'll talk about it when we're doing this. Okay, let me back up so you see what I'm doing. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to bring in a circle, and I want to have my earrings be about 1 3/4 inches tall. Now notice that the thing that's usually up here that shows you your height isn't here. Usually there's something up here where you can adjust your height. Hey, maybe it's here. Hey, it is. Cool. Okay, so let's go 1.75 tall. And that didn't really work, so I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, somebody can let me know what I did wrong. And then I want to unlock it so that I can have these be a little bit more than 1 1/4 inches wide. Okay, I think I like that as far as the width goes. Let me make them, there we go. So let me lock that back. Now that's the basic shape of my earring, but I need to cut out a circle here so that my jingle bell will fit in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to turn it a different color. I'll just turn it pink. And I want to make it a lot smaller than the other thing. I also want it to be more like a circle. It doesn't have to be exactly a circle, but more like a circle. Okay, let's see what that would look like if I did my earrings like that. Ooh, I think that might look pretty good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to align them. You might watch the pink one in relationship to where the black one is, and you might see it move. So I've selected both shapes, and I'm going to click center horizontally, and it will move the pink shape a little to the left so that it's really in the middle. There you go. Okay, I have a nice wide area here. I have a full block of leather here. My first pair of earrings, I only had about a half of a block of leather, and while the small hole punch went through, there was just a tiny bit of leather above it and below it, and I really didn't think that was a good idea. So I now have both of these shapes selected, so I'm going to hit slice, and that will cut that pink shape out of the black shape. So now I can click on the pink shape and just delete it. I can click on the excess black and delete it. And there's my earring. I like that. So I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to duplicate it again. Now this one I want to turn red. I'm going to make a black pair and a red pair, and then I'll select this one and duplicate it. And now I have a pair of red earrings and a pair of black earrings. So I will go ahead and click Make It. I'm going to put my earrings over here, a little bit more than 2 inches down and a little bit more than 2 inches from this side. Now, if these had a word in them or something that really mattered which way it was facing, you would definitely want to mirror these. It's a good idea just to be in the habit of always mirroring them. Since in this case, it really doesn't matter if they're mirrored or not, I'm just going to click Continue. And I'm going to browse all materials. Click Leather and Genuine Leather. Now the second set of earrings that I do, I'm going to actually click this metallic leather for those because it's a red metallic leather, but you may not be able to see that when I do it. So I just wanted to tell you right now that the second earrings I will use this metallic leather setting. So for now I'm going to click Done. They want us to move our star wheels all the way to the right. I have my deep point blade already in clamp bead, so let me change to my overhead camera and I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, this area of my mat is really worn. This is pretty worn, but I'm going to use this area right here. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put down some Cricut Strong Grip tape where my leather is going to go. I'm going to put the tape non-sticky side down, sticky side up, so that my leather will stick to this tape since my mat isn't very sticky anymore, or isn't nearly as sticky as it needs to be to hold leather. And then when I get the leather on, I'll really brayer it down, so you don't have to worry about it too much right now. Now I've cut my black leather, so I will go ahead. I need to make sure it's at least, or not more than 2 inches down, not more than 2 inches over. And I'm actually going to be a little above and a little to the right of that so that I have room to place some tape on it. This is leather that I bought from a remnant bag at Hobby Lobby. I believe it was a 2-pound remnant bag. It had black, a buff color, and brown. It was regularly $5.99 and I got it for right at $4 with a 40% off coupon. Now I used to use Cricut Strong Grip tape to tape my leather down, but the last few pairs I've made, I've just used regular old Scotch tape. And the Scotch tape that I'm using tonight, I bought it at the Dollar Tree. It doesn't have the backing on it, and so you get it for less. I think it's probably less than what you would regularly pay somewhere else. And I believe I got 2 rolls of the tape, or 2 sets of the tape, in one package for $1. Besides being less expensive than the Cricut Strong Grip tape, this is so much easier to use because you're not cutting it and then fighting to get the back off. Okay, so I have it all ready. So let me move my maker over a little bit. Hopefully that's a good angle. Let me put this here and see. Okay, that looks good. Now, this is my deep point blade, but I've cut some earrings tonight. I always like to take it out and just get any of the material that's on it off. And then I put just a little bit of pressure on the back side of my mat when I'm loading my material. And it's ready to send. Okay, let me unload that and we'll see how that did. The other thing is when you tape down, you want to try not to have tape under where it's going to cut. When I was using the strong grip tape, if the blade hit it, it would actually kind of jump and it would cause a little bit of a problem. I have accidentally put this Scotch tape over where it's cutting and it did go through it, I guess because it's so much thinner than the Cricut strong grip tape, but I still think it's best practice to not have it where you're going to cut. Now when you're taking these off, you want to be sure you don't get your nail in it and scratch it up. I'm going to keep these little circles just in case I could use those on some other earrings. Now they cut super nicely. You can see that I do need to get this transfer tape off. I just start doing that with my finger and then it pulls up. What I don't want to do is use my nail and scratch on it and then scratch my leather. There we go. Okay, so there's my first set of earrings. They cut nicely. You can see they do have, if you pull them out especially, you can probably see some frays there. I'll take care of those. Okay, so now I'm ready to cut my other color of earrings. And then remember that I told you I was using the metallic leather setting. Okay, so here's my red metallic leather. And let me show you just a little bit more about that. This might be glary. It is pretty bright and blingy. I bought this at Springfield Leather Company. I think this is probably the item number. I actually bought it in the store. It's the equivalent of 1 square foot, and it was $3.29 per square foot for retail, or if you're a wholesale customer, you get it for $2.99. I buy quite a bit there, and so I get the wholesale price, but even at $3.29, it's really inexpensive. Now I'm not sure how many times it cut, but I think it was 3, it might have been 4. We're going to go ahead and pull up the excess leather. I wasted a little more there than I needed to. I try to do a better job than that, but it is what it is at this point. Okay, again, you don't really want to use your nail, especially on these metallic ones. But you can see how well they cut, and then I'll save these little circles. I'm gonna just, something on my hand. I'm gonna start using just my skin. Now it is harder to get this off the metallic ones than the regular leather. There we go, it started to lift up, so now I can grab it with my nail. And there you go. It's very pretty. Okay, now I want to show you my fail from before. I don't know why I turned the earring over. I wanted to turn the mat over. Okay, here's my new ones. Now here's the first pair I did, which are shaped just a little bit differently. But notice how, I'll get these up close. Hopefully you can see that they do have holes in them, and there's leather slight bit above, a little bit below, but I just was concerned that those were not going to hold up well. So on my second pair, I made this area thicker than it was on this pair. Almost twice as thick, really. Okay. So I have my 2 pairs of earrings. I'm going to go ahead and put these on something that you can see them better. And even though they cut super well, there's always going to be some frays on leather earrings. Some people just live with it. I don't like to live with it. And so if you've seen me before, I burn off the frays on dark earrings. So I'll just do this and fast forward. You want to make sure you do not get the front. You want to always do it from the back and have it kind of angled so that it really is just getting the back and it's not touching the front. And you also don't want to do it for too long. So now look how nice those are. I guess lastly, here, let me show you, compare the two. Lastly, I would say keep the fire moving. Okay, so hopefully you can see these are just much cleaner now than these are. And it just takes like 30-40 seconds. Now these, I don't really want to use fire on these, so I'm going to clean up the frays. Maybe you can see. You can see just a little bit of fraying around. It's nothing terrible, but I'm going to clean those up real quick. I cut from the back on an angle so that I never cut the front. Okay, let's go ahead and move on and punch the holes in our earrings. I have my tool that I got at Harbor Freight. I showed this on a previous video. It was maybe $7.99 without a coupon. I had a 20% coupon and I really like it. So what I do is I figure out about where the middle is. If you wanted to be really picky, you could either measure, you could fold it over, you could find a place and put a dot, but I'm just going to go for it. So I find where I think the hole should go, and then I'm going to put this really close in front of my face so I can adjust it, and it'll be off camera for just a minute. Okay, so I adjusted it slightly. Now I'm just going to press really hard. You might have even heard that, and there's the hole. Now the thing about this is that until you're ready to commit to where you want your hole to be poked through, don't press down very hard or you'll leave an indentation on your leather. So here we have the 4 earrings. Now I bought these little jingle bells today at Walmart after church. You get 55 of these smaller ones for $2.97 or $2.99. I can't remember which. You could possibly get them cheaper at Dollar General. Maybe they even have them at the Dollar Tree, but we were in a hurry to get home and watch a football game, and so I didn't want to even suggest going into a second store. So I went with these. I think I'm going to go red with silver and black with gold. Or do I want black with silver? I just think that the silver tones down the red, and I think the gold adds to the blandness or the plainness of the black. So that's how I'm going to go. Now I think I'll start with the black pair and see if these jump rings are large enough. If they're not, either I'll do 2 small jump rings or I'll move to a larger jump ring like this. I'm not sure which I'm going to like better yet. First thing I'm going to do is open up the hole. I don't want to use this little tool for this. I found it was easier just to use a pair of pliers to open that. You twist it to the side. You don't want to pull it open that way, they say, because it'll lose, it just won't go back to the right shape. So let's put that on there. Okay, so I have that part of my earring done. Now, okay, so now I think I can just use my hands and do this. But no, I can't. That one's tough. Okay, so this is a little tool I got off of Amazon. And you just put it on there. I think I need the tighter side though. And then you twist. Ooh, that was easy. Okay, so I'm going to put my little bell on. And then let me just hold it with this thing. Okay, there we go. Now, before I close this up, let me get it turned around so it won't fall off. Well, like it just did. Okay, well, I think that small jump ring is perfect. I think this one might be a little distracting. So I'm going to go with this size. So I'll put my bell back on. This is where you need about 3 hands. Okay, got it through. You just want to hold it with this. And you know what? Oh, let's try this. It's so tight in there. There we go. Yep, that's working. Okay, there we go. Oops, let go. Okay, so there it is. How cute. So I'll go ahead and put the rest of these together and then I'll show them to you at the end.